Have you ever noticed something strange about life? Sometimes it feels like the outside world is simply reflecting what is happening inside you. When your mind feels peaceful, opportunities appear. When your thoughts are heavy, problems seem to multiply. And at some point you may start wondering, is life random, or is there a hidden law behind everything? For thousands of years, mystics, philosophers, and spiritual teachers have talked about a mysterious principle that explains this phenomenon. A principle summarized in one simple phrase, as above, so below. You may have heard this phrase before. It sounds mystical, almost magical, but very few people actually understand what it means. And even fewer people realize that this law quietly shapes their entire life, their success, their relationships, their money, and even their spiritual growth. Today, we are going to explore the real meaning of, as above, so below. Not the movie version, not the conspiracy theory version, but the deeper spiritual principle that has been taught for thousands of years, a principle that can completely change how you see reality. And if you truly understand it, you will begin to see something incredible. Your inner world is not separate from your outer world. It is creating it. The ancient origin of, as above, so below. The phrase, as above, so below, comes from an ancient spiritual text called the Emerald Tablet, which is attributed to the legendary sage Hermes Trismegistus. Hermes was believed to be a fusion of two great wisdom traditions, the Egyptian god Thoth and the Greek god Hermes. Whether Hermes Trismegistus was a real person or a symbolic figure is still debated. But what matters is that the teachings attributed to him became the foundation of Hermetic philosophy, a mystical system that influenced many spiritual traditions, including early Christianity, alchemy, and Western esoteric thought. In the Emerald Tablet, there is a line that reads, "That which is above is like that which is below, and that which is below is like that which is above." At first glance, it sounds poetic but confusing. But the idea is actually very simple. It means, the patterns of the universe repeat themselves at every level of reality. The same principles that operate in the cosmos also operate inside the human mind. The same laws governing the stars also govern your thoughts, emotions, and life experiences. In other words, the universe is a mirror. The universe is built on patterns. One of the most fascinating discoveries in modern science is that nature repeats patterns everywhere. If you look closely, the same structures appear again and again. Galaxies spiral in space, hurricanes spiral in the atmosphere. Even the structure of DNA forms a spiral. It's as if the universe is using the same blueprint again and again. This is why ancient mystics believed that by studying small things, you could understand large things. By understanding the human mind, you could understand the cosmos. And by understanding the cosmos, you could understand yourself. This is the deeper meaning of, as above, so below. The universe is not chaotic. It is fractal, meaning the same pattern appears at different scales. Your mind reflects the universe. And the universe reflects your mind. The hidden mirror between inner and outer worlds. Now here is where things start getting interesting. Many spiritual traditions say that the outer world mirrors the inner world. Think about it. When someone is constantly angry, their life often becomes full of conflict. When someone is calm and confident, people respond differently to them. It's almost as if the energy inside them is shaping what they experience outside. This is not magic. It's psychology, energy, and perception working together. Your thoughts affect your emotions. Your emotions affect your actions. Your actions shape your results. So the inner world slowly becomes the outer world. That is, as above, so below, in action. Your inner, above, world, thoughts, beliefs, imagination, becomes your outer, below, world, experiences, opportunities, relationships. Why most people misunderstand this law? Many people hear about this principle and immediately think it means, if I just think positive thoughts, I will become rich. But the real teaching is deeper than that. It's not about pretending everything is good. It's about alignment. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions must all move in the same direction. If someone says they want success but constantly thinks, I will fail, their inner world is divided. And a divided inner world produces confused results. But when your inner world becomes clear and focused, something powerful happens. Your mind begins to guide your actions more effectively. You start noticing opportunities you would normally ignore. You make decisions with more confidence. And slowly, your outer life begins to change. Not because of magic, but because your inner compass is finally aligned. The microcosm and the macrocosm. Ancient philosophers described this relationship using two words, microcosm and macrocosm. The macrocosm is the large universe, the stars, planets, and cosmic forces. The microcosm is the small universe, the human being. The teaching says, the human being is a miniature universe. Your mind contains creativity, chaos, order, destruction, and rebirth, just like the cosmos. You can see this even in your own life. You create ideas. You destroy old habits. You rebuild new identities. In a way, every human being is a small creator. And that creative power starts in the invisible world of thought. The role of consciousness. Another way to understand, as above, so below, is through consciousness. Your mind is constantly interpreting reality. Two people can experience the same situation but see it completely differently. One sees opportunity, the other sees danger. The situation is the same, but their inner world changes their outer experience. This is why consciousness is powerful. It acts like a lens. Your beliefs, expectations, and emotions shape how you perceive reality. And that perception shapes how you interact with the world, which then shapes your results. Again, inner world right pointing arrow outer world. As above, so below. The spiritual interpretation. Mystics go even further with this idea. They say the visible world is a reflection of the invisible spiritual world. Thoughts are invisible, but they create visible actions. Ideas are invisible, but they create buildings, businesses, and inventions. Everything that exists physically started as something invisible first. A thought, a vision, an imagination, so in a very real way. The unseen creates the seen. That is the deepest meaning behind the phrase. Why this matters for your life. Understanding this principle can completely change how you approach life. Instead of trying to control everything outside you, you begin by working on what is inside you. Your mindset, your emotional state, your focus, your self-belief, because those inner forces influence everything else. Think about successful people. Before their success became visible, something changed internally. They developed discipline, confidence, persistence, clarity. Those inner changes eventually produced outer results. A simple example from daily life. Imagine two traders entering the market. One trader is fearful and uncertain. The other trader is calm and disciplined. Even if they use the same strategy, their results will likely be different. Why? Because their inner state affects the decisions. Fear causes hesitation. Hesitation causes missed opportunities. Panic causes bad exits. Meanwhile, calm focus leads to better judgment. Again, inner world right pointing arrow outer outcome. For anyone involved in trading or business, this law becomes extremely important. Because your psychology directly affects your financial results. The hidden power of self-image. One of the strongest inner forces shaping your life is your self-image. What you believe about yourself influences what you attempt in life. If someone believes they are unlucky, they often behave in ways that reinforce that belief. They hesitate, they doubt opportunities, they give up early, but someone who believes they are capable acts differently. They take calculated risks, they persist longer, they adapt when things go wrong. The belief becomes the blueprint, and the blueprint becomes the result. As above, so below, and manifestation. Many modern spiritual teachers connect this idea with manifestation, the idea that thoughts and emotions influence reality. But here's the important part. Manifestation is not just wishful thinking. It requires alignment between thought, emotion, action. If those three are aligned, the probability of success increases dramatically. Your mind focuses on the goal. Your emotions fuel motivation. Your actions move you forward. When those forces combine, results begin to appear. Why awareness is the first step. The first step to using this principle is awareness. Most people never question their inner world. They react automatically. Negative thoughts appear and they accept them as truth. But once you become aware of your thinking patterns, you gain power. You can observe your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. You can choose which ideas to nurture and which ones to reject. This is where personal transformation begins. The responsibility that comes with this knowledge. There is also a serious side to this principle. If your inner world shapes your outer world, then blaming everything on fate becomes harder. Yes, external circumstances exist. But your response to those circumstances still matters. Your mindset still matters. Your habits still matter. And once you understand that, you gain something powerful, responsibility over your direction in life. That responsibility can feel heavy at first, but it is also incredibly empowering, because it means change is possible, training the inner world. So how do you actually apply, as above, so below, in daily life? It starts with training your inner world. Here are some simple but powerful practices. 1. Mental discipline. Observe your thoughts. Replace destructive patterns with constructive ones. 2. Emotional awareness. Your emotions influence decisions. Learn to pause before reacting impulsively. 3. Clear vision. Know what you want. A focused mind moves more effectively than a scattered one. 4. Consistent action. Inner change must eventually produce outer action. Ideas without action remain dreams. Why ancient teachers guarded this knowledge? In ancient times, these teachings were often kept secret. Not because they were evil, but because they were powerful. A person who learns to control their mind becomes difficult to manipulate. They become more independent, more aware, more deliberate, and throughout history, systems of power have always preferred people who react automatically rather than people who think consciously. The balance between spirituality and reality. It's important not to take this principle to extremes. Life is not entirely controlled by thoughts alone. Reality includes external forces, other people, and unpredictable events. But your inner state still determines how you respond to those forces. And over time, those responses shape your life path. So the goal is balance. Develop your inner world while still taking practical action in the real world. The deeper mystery. The deeper you study this principle, the more mysterious it becomes. Because if the inner world reflects the outer world, and the outer world reflects the inner world, then where does the cycle truly begin? Some mystics say consciousness itself is the source. Others say the universe is a living mind expressing itself through billions of individual minds. Whatever the ultimate truth is, one thing becomes clear. Human consciousness is more powerful than most people realize. The final insight. When you truly understand, as above, so below, you stop seeing life as something that simply happens to you. You begin to see life as something you are participating in, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Your thoughts matter, your focus matters, your beliefs matter, not because they magically control reality, but because they shape the way you interact with reality. And that interaction slowly shapes the life you experience. Closing thought. So the next time you hear the phrase, as above, so below, remember that it is not just an ancient mystical quote. It is a reminder that the world inside you and the world outside you are deeply connected. And when you begin to master your inner world, you may discover that your outer world begins to change as well. If you enjoyed this exploration of hidden spiritual laws, consider subscribing to Mystic 11, where we explore the deeper forces shaping consciousness, manifestation, and human potential. Because sometimes the greatest secrets about life are the ones hidden in plain sight.